Hello, I'm James, and I am a musician with the Muncie Symphony Orchestra. So today I want to talk a little bit about the instrument that I play, which is called the flute. So the flute is a member of a family of instruments that we call the woodwinds. So woodwind. So you might think that that means that this instrument should be made out of wood. And if you look at it, it doesn't really look like it's made out of wood. And it is not. The flute is made out of metal, and it can be made out of different kinds of metal. On my particular flute, you can probably see there's two different colors. This part of the instrument is made out of silver, and this top part of the instrument here is made out of gold. But a couple hundred years ago, they used to make flutes out of wood. So that's why it belongs to the woodwind family. Now it's also woodwind. So that means that you have to use your air to make a sound on this instrument. And if you look near the top of the instrument, there's a little hole right there. And so to make a sound on the flute, you have to place it right below your lips like that, and you blow your air across that hole, and it will make a sound like this. Just like that. Then to play different notes, you can see there are lots of what looks like buttons going all the way up and down the flute like that. When you press down those buttons, we call them keys, with your fingers and press them down in different combinations, you get different notes while you're blowing your air. And that sounds like this. Let me move so you can see my fingers. Just like that. Now, when the flute is playing in an orchestra, like the Muncie Symphony Orchestra, there are different things that the flute gets to do. Sometimes the flute plays kind of lower notes, and it gets to play nice solos that sound like this. Like that sometimes. And that's kind of fun to play. A lot of the time, the flute is playing really, really fast notes. It's pretty easy to move your fingers really fast on all these buttons, and because of that, the flute often gets to play really fast things that sound like this. I don't know if you could keep up with how fast my fingers were moving there. Aside from that, though, one of the favorite things that, for me personally, that the flute gets to do is to play really beautiful melodies that go up into much higher notes. The flute is one of the smallest instruments in the whole orchestra, and because of that, most of the time, the flute is playing higher notes. So an example of that, a really beautiful melody that plays into the flutes. The higher part of the flute's range is like this. A little bit like that. Now, aside from doing those things when we're playing in an orchestra, it's also really fun to play songs on the flute that maybe you know, or music from movies that maybe you've seen. So I don't know if any of you have seen the Harry Potter movies or read the Harry Potter books, but those were some of my favorites when I was growing up. So sometimes I like to play some of the music from the Harry Potter movies. So for example, this is a little bit of Hedwig's theme. Just like that. So thank you very much for joining me today to learn a little bit about the flute. Stay tuned because we're going to have more videos about the different instruments of the orchestra coming up soon. And all of us at the Muncie Symphony Orchestra hope that you are all doing well, staying safe, and staying healthy. Keep looking at the Muncie Symphony's website. We are hoping to reschedule all of our concerts and education visits that we haven't been able to do for this month and next month. So please stay tuned.